Welcome back to Tishomingo County Braves basketball. At halftime here at the girls' game, TC Lady Braves leading Amory by a score of 52-14. And we now go into our Boyce Hollingsworth full court press halftime show, and we are tickled to death to have Superintendent of Education for Tishomingo County Schools, Miss Christie Holly. Christie, thank you for taking the time. It's not like you really don't have anything else better to do, I guess. But now that you're facing Snowmageddon on Friday.
Absolutely. I've already been getting lots of questions about that. But this is a great way to spend a Tuesday night, watching good basketball.
Now, we want to get you on. We try to do this every year that we do this because we got a great school district, got a great administrator, great board, and just want to have an opportunity. And we got great community support. Just kind of talk about things that are going on. I just kind of jotted down a few questions. And,
sure.
And kind of when you oversee a lot of moving parts, right, in this school district, and so. But what are some of the things going on? Some of the initiatives or things going on that you kind of feel like, you know what? Hey, that's some things I'm really the most proud of that's going on right now in our school district.
Well, I mean, we've got a lot of, like you said, things to be proud of.
Right.
We have great staff and people who are truly invested in our kids, and that's what it takes to have a great school district. Very proud of our academics. We're constantly seeking ways to improve those. One thing that we're trying to improve is definitely sort of the gateway to the career and technical programs in our district. We really want to focus on that and really showcase what those careers can do for students, that you don't necessarily have to go to a 4-year university anymore to make a great living and stay here in Tishomingo County. We have great industries and businesses here that are willing to work with us. Of course, Accelerate Mississippi has helped a lot of this program initiative through the career coach placements that they've done. We have 2 career coaches right now in our district. They work with our students to get internships going, job shadowing opportunities. It's been very impressive what our kids have been exposed to. And we're hoping to expand that and really just push that there's more out there besides just college. There's other opportunities that you can do and stay here in Tishomingo County and raise your family and hopefully create that generational wealth that we want them to be able to do and be good citizens for our county.
Absolutely. And it's it seems like education is an evolving thing. It's nothing like it was when I was in school years ago and back during the 1800s when Fred was in school. But boy,
did that not just come out of left field? But just sitting over here being quiet, trying to rest my voice.
When you look at the current educational environment, what are some of the biggest challenges that school districts are facing these days?
I think probably one of the biggest, and you'll hear Lieutenant Governor Hoseman talk about this, is chronic absenteeism. That's hit everyone really hard since COVID came through. A lot of kids, we didn't have to go to school necessarily all week during those times. We were one of the districts and many districts and actually one of the few states that kids actually came back to school during that time, but we still had Fridays that were virtual. So I think a lot of kids got into the mode of, hey, I can do this and not necessarily have to come to school every day. So everybody's chronic absenteeism sort of soared after COVID. So I think that's a huge challenge, is getting kids to understand that attendance is very, very important. While, yes, you can learn things online and you can do different programs online, there's nothing like that face-to-face interaction with a classroom teacher each and every day.
Right.
So it really, research shows, and especially some of the new research that's come out after what we went through with the virtual learning experience in COVID, that face-to-face interaction is very important, and more learning actually occurs and retention is better of learning when you're in the classroom environment. So we just want to encourage our families to make sure that your kids come to school. We understand there's going to be sicknesses and times like that, but if at all possible, they need to be in school every day.
Right.
And you see that not just in schools, but, in the workplace.
Absolutely.
I mean, one of the big things this year is to try to get workers to go back to in-person working.
Yes.
Because, like you said, since COVID, people have been working from home, and now you can't get them to come back.
That's right. The meetings that I have with our local businesses and industry leaders, that is one of the main things that they're facing as well, is just attendance, trying to get people who will just come to work.
Right.
And I know that COVID sort of made that a huge issue, but we've got to get back to normal, and we need our kids back in school just like we need people back at work as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so I got 2 basketball questions for you.
All right.
Okay, so your dad was a basketball coach, Coach Johnson.
Yes.
We talk about the Johnson scowl a lot on this thing.
Yes.
He can look at you, know exactly what he's thinking.
I've seen it many a day.
And I know,
no, surely not.
And I know you played at New Site, right?
I did.
But how much influence did basketball have on your life growing up? And And next question is, do you still enjoy getting out there and shooting hoops every once in a while?
Oh, my gosh. The last time I shot, I usually start pretty strong, and then my muscles get weak because I'm so out of shape, so then it starts hurting the form. So it's probably been close to a year since I've shot a basketball, which is pitiful to say because I love the game so much.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said, basketball had a huge impact on my life. I mean, I've been around the game literally my whole life. My mom and dad, and brother, we were a sports family, and that was Dad's profession. So I used to keep, shot charts for Dad, sitting beside him when he would go scout teams. That was just sort of daughter-dad time, which I've fondly have as memories, and learned a lot from the game just simply by watching. I can remember, my friends would come to the game and they'd get to go hang out with their friends or whatever, and Dad'd say, no, you're going to sit and watch the ball game. That's what we're here for.
Right.
So I did. I learned to become sort of a student of the game, but just being a part of a team, you sort of learn, maybe I'm not the strongest defender, or maybe I'm not the most offensive-minded person on this team, but we learn to play together and you learn your roles.
Right.
And I think, personally, that's what makes TC girls right now talking about this game so strong. I mean, Meg is not playing right now, but each girl knows their role, and they play their role. They don't get outside themselves, and so I think that's a great thing. And that teaches you a lot about life.
It does. That kind of leads into my last question here. If you could share one piece of advice with our student athletes tonight, whether on the court or in the classroom, what would it be? Just looking back, as you rose up through education, teaching, assistant principal, curriculum coordinator, superintendent, and then what's your knowledge of basketball? What advice would you give to the TC student athletes?
I would say perseverance. I think that's one of the great things that you learn through sports is that you're going to get knocked down, but you got to get up. And there's going to be times when you don't feel like running those sprints, and there's going to be times when you don't feel like going out there and actually playing. You don't feel good. But persevering, sticking with things, never quit, that attitude. If you can just do that, I mean, you're going to go far in life no matter what you do, whether that's, being a college student, beyond that in your job, in the workforce, in your family. I mean, you have to value the idea of perseverance. And that's what I feel like we want to instill in all of our students, not just our athletes, is that you got to stick to stuff. You got to stick in there. You got to give it your best shot every single day. Treat it like it's your last. Man, if I could go back and play my last basketball game, I'd do a lot of things differently.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, value the moment, persevere. That stick to it stuff is pretty important in life. So that's what I would encourage them to do.
That is good stuff. Well, Miss Holly, thank you so much.
Enjoy
we appreciate
it, guys.
This time flies by. It seems like. I'll tell you what, we're gonna make a promise now. When we get back to Jackson, we're going to have you join us again.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, I'd love to be commentary. But then I'd have to watch what I say because I get excited.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Holly.
Thank you, guys.